Welcome sa ating virtual discussion. Today, I will discuss about the subject Introduction to Criminology. This presentation covers the definition of criminology, the divisions of criminology, the schools of thought in criminology, and also the positivist trio. Let's define what is criminology. According to RA 11131, criminology refers to the scientific study of crimes, criminals, and victims. When we talk about crimes, those are acts or omissions punishable by law. And criminals are those persons or individuals who violates the law. Criminology also deals with the prevention and the solution of crimes. The RA 11131 is known as the Philippine Criminology Profession Act of 2018. This law repealed the RA 6506, which is known as an act creating the Board of Examiners or Criminologists in the Philippines. Then, criminology in the Philippines. The first school na nag-offer ng criminology program sa Pilipinas ay ang Plaridel College, located at Santa Cruz, Manila. Itong Plaridel College ay kilala ngayon sa pangalan na PCCR or the Philippine College of Criminology. Ito yung first school na nag-offer ng criminology program sa Pilipinas. And, Principal Divisions of Criminology by Edwin Sutherland. Edwin Sutherland is regarded as the dean of modern criminology and the father of criminology in America. He is also regarded as the most important personality in the 20th century, Edwin Hardin Sutherland. According to him, there are three divisions of criminology. Number one, criminal etiology, sociology of law, and penology. When we talk about criminal etiology, this refers to a division of criminology which attempts to provide scientific analysis of the causes of crime. Etiology, the word etiology means causes or reasons. That's why criminal etiology, dito pinag-aaralan kung bakit ang tao ay nakakamit ng krimen, reasons or the causes of criminality under the criminal etiology. Dito naman sa sociology of law, as defined to our presentation, this offers a scientific analysis of the conditions under which penal or criminal law develop as a process of formal social control. Dito sa sociology of law, sa branch ng criminology na ito, ay pinag-aaralan kung paano ma-develop ang isang batas at kung gaano ito ka-effective sa society in terms of controlling criminality. Yun yung sociology of law. And then, lastly, penology. This deals with the control and prevention of crime and the treatment of youthful offenders. The word penology came from the word pena, which means pain or sufferings. Penology also defined as the science of punishment. They provide punishment to control and prevent criminality, and also to rehabilitate and treat for the treatment of the offenders. Yun yung concern ng penology. So these are the three divisions of criminology: criminal etiology, sociology of law, and penology. Let's proceed to the schools of thought in criminology. The classical school, also known as the free will theory. Then number 2, the neoclassical school. This provides exemptions to the insane offenders and also for the minors. And the positivist or Italian school, this provides a positive perspective on why an individual commits crime. And also it is called Italian school because it was founded by the Italians, the three Italians or the Holy Three. Let's start with the classical school. It was founded by Cesare Beccaria, with his full name, Cesare Bonisano Marquis de Beccaria. In July 1764, he published a book entitled On Crimes and Punishment. Ang book na ito ay nag-present ng coherent and comprehensive design for the enlightened criminal justice system, and that was to serve the people rather than the monarchs. Beccaria argued that the effectiveness of criminal justice depended more on the certainty of punishment. Kapag sinabing certainty of punishment, it is the act of inflicting or giving punishment sure to happen. It is certain. Sabi niya, it is more effective yung criminal justice kapag magbigay ka ng parusa na sure to happen. Kumbaga, ibibigay talaga yung papataw sa kriminal kaysa sa severity. Kung sinabi severity, ito yung amount of pain to be inflicted dun sa criminals. Yun ang sabi ni Beccaria, mas effective kung you will inflict the punishment na sigurado na matatamo yun ng criminal. And then Beccaria also responsible for the abolition of torture as a legitimate means of extracting confessions. Ibig sabihin na isa sa Beccaria kung bakit na-abolish yung pag-torture. Torture or third degree. Kumbaga na-abolish na yun para sa pagkuha ng information. Sabi niya dapat yung mga information ay voluntary, lalo na yung confessions. Voluntary at hindi ito sa pilitan kinukuha sa isang subject. And also, Beccaria advocated the penalty should be proportionate to the crime or let the punishment fit the crime. Ibig sabihin, yung parusa na ipapataw ay proportionate. Ibig sabihin, kapantay yung nagawang krimen ng isang individual. It is not too harsh or not too lenient. Yung ibig sabihin ng punishment fit the crime. Another personality under the classical school was Jeremy Bentham. Si Jeremy Bentham ay isang student ni Beccaria. He was an English jurist, philosopher, and legal and social reformer. Si Bentham ay siya yung naka-invento ng Panopticon Prison. Yung Panopticon Prison, ibig sabihin nito ay all eye seeing. Nandito as defined dito sa presentation, sabi niya, Panopticon's scheme of the design is to allow all inmates of an institution to be observed. Yun yung meaning ng pan. And then opticon, meaning by a single watchman without the inmates being able to tell whether or not they are being watched. Ibig sabihin, isa lang yung babantay dito sa Panopticon Prison at yung mga nakakulong doon, mga inmates, hindi nila alam, hindi sila aware na mayroong nagbabantay para sa kanila. So yun yung design ng panopticon prison. However, itong prison na ito ay disenyo lamang, hindi siya nagawa or na-put into reality. Kumbaga blueprint lang. Then the summary viewpoints under the classical school. Ito yung mga assumptions ni Jeremy Bentham. Number 1, people have free will to choose how to act and what to do. Yun ang isang tao daw, lalo na yung isang criminal, ay meron siyang free will at ng tao na kalayang pumili kung ano yung gagawin at kung ano yung behavior na gagawin nila sa isang society. Yeah, that's why they are responsible for their actions. And also the deterrence based on the ontological notion, because the human being is any of the following. Number 1, maybe pag sinabing hedonist refers to a person who only seeks pleasure and avoids pain. Ibig sabihin ito yung uri ng tao na pag sinabing hedonist, puro pleasure lang yung hinahanap niya at ina-avoid niya yung pain. Yung hedonist. Kapag sinabing rational calculator naman, refers to a person's weighing up the cost or the pain and the benefits before committing any act. And given sa kanyang definition, rational calculator, ibig sabihin tinitimbang niya muna kung siya ba ay mag-gain ng pleasure dito or mas mabigat yung punishment. Yun yung rational calculator. Tinitimbang niya muna. Kumbaga ina-assess niya muna yung sitwasyon, kung yung bang action na gagawin niya ay makikinabang siya doon or malulugi. Yun, rational calculator. He calculates the situation before committing any actions. Then number 3, the more swift and certain the punishment, the more effective it is in deterring criminal behavior. Ito yung sinasabi ni Beccaria kanina. Swift and certain, ibig sabihin prompt and sure to happen. Para ma-deter yung mga would-be offenders. Punishment should be prompt and to be inflicted in a certain way. And number 4, punishment of sufficient severity can deter people from committing crime because the cost or the penalties outweighs benefits, and severity of punishment should be proportionate to the crime. Ibig sabihin, dito sa number 4, yung naging ng isang criminal sa pag-commit ng crime ay ganun din kabigat yung ipapataw na parusa. Ibig sabihin, kapag pinarusahan siya dito, hindi siya makikinabang ito sa kanyang ginawang krimen. Another, the neoclassical school, from its name, neo means new, or the neoclassical school. This school accepted the fact that the crime is committed in accordance with the free will of man, but the act of committing a crime is modified by some causes or circumstances that finally prevail the persons to commit crimes. Ibig sabihin, sabi ng classical or neoclassical school, ay totoo naman na may free will ang tao to choose how to act in a given occasion. Pero sabi niya, there are some circumstances or causes kung bakit yung mga tao ay nakakomit ng krimen. Sa madaling salita, ang mga tao kung minsan ay nakakomit ng crime because of the outside of their control. Maaaring physical factors or environmental factors. Halimbawa, these factors, for example, the pathology, incompetence, and insanity, or any condition that will make it possible for the person to exercise the free will entirely. Ibig sabihin, mayroong mga circumstances na nakaka-apekto sa isang person sa kanyang discretion how to act in a society. So, ang pinaka-main concern ng neoclassical school ay nag-provide siya ng exemption. Ibig sabihin, yung mga insane at yung mga minors, dahil hindi nila control, wala pa silang control sa kanilang behavior, kaya sila dapat ay exempted sa punishment. Yun yung claim ng neoclassical school. Then the positivist or Italian school, this presumes that criminal behavior is caused by internal and external factors. Kapag sinabi internal factors, dito na pumapasok yung mga physical aspects. Kumbaga, sa subject na mismo, maaaring physical defects, insanity, biological, yun yung mga internal factors. Kapag sinabi ng external factors, those are outside of the individual's control. Maaaring yung society or environment or economic factors. Scientific method was introduced and applied to study human behavior. Positivism can be broken up into 3 segments, which include the biological, psychological, and social positivism. So, dito sa positivist school, kumbaga, yung daw tao ay nakaka-commit ng krimen because of these factors, biological, psychological, and social positivism or social factors. Na isang criminal daw ay dapat na i-treat like a sick persons. Kumbaga parang isang may sakit na kailangan ng treatment. Yun ang views ng positivist sa isang offenders. Then the Holy Three of Criminology or the Positivist Trio. Nawag itong Positivist Trio kasi it consists of the 3 Italians, namely Cesare Lombroso, Enrico Ferri, and Rafael Garofalo. Number 1, Cesare Lombroso was an Italian criminologist and the founder of the Italian school or the positivist criminology. Lombroso is regarded as the father of criminology because he has the largest contributions to biological positivism through the scientific approach, insisting on the empirical evidence. Kapag sinabi empirical evidence, those are based on personal observations. And also for studying crime concepts drawn from physiognomy, early eugenics, psychiatry, and social Darwinism. Lombroso's theory of anthropological criminology essentially stated that criminality was inherited. Sabi ni Lombroso, yung daw criminality ay namamana. And that someone born criminal could be identified by physical defects. Si Lombroso ay naniniwala sa na may taong ipinanganak na maging criminal or potential na maging criminal. At tinawag niya itong atavistic. Kapag sinabi niya atavistic, those are born criminals. That is according to Lombroso. And also, he wrote the book entitled The Criminal Man. Ito sa Criminal Man, napaloob yung mga physical defects na sinasabi ni Lombroso na maaring determining factors para masabi na ang isang tao ay potential criminal, like excessive size of the head and also the unusual size of the ears and the like. So Lombroso, kumuha siya ng mga kategorya ng mga criminals. Number 1, the atavis. Pag sinabing atavis, ito yung mga born criminals, ipinanganak na may potential na maging criminal. Born criminals, atavis. Number 2, the insane criminal. Ito naman yung mga alcoholic, kleptomaniac, nymphomaniac, and child molesters. Ibig sabihin, may mga sakit sa pag-iisip ng mga insane criminal. Criminaloid, ito yung mga habitual criminals na maaring or madaling ma-provoke para gumawa ng krimen. Ito yung mga criminaloid. The number 4, criminal by passion. Are those commits crime because they are motivated by anger, love, or honor. Ito yung criminal by passion. Ito yung nakakommit ng krimen ng isang tao dahil hindi niya nakontrol yung kanyang emotions. Halimbawa, si letter A, nakita niyang nakikipagtalik ang kanyang asawa kay letter B, kay B. So, dahil dun sa nakita niya, hindi niya makontrol yung kanyang emotion o yung kanyang galit. Kaya nakakommit siya ng krimen. So, these are the 4 categories of criminals according to Lombroso: atavis, insane criminal, criminaloid, and criminal by passion. Criminal by passion, those are individuals who are provoked by their anger or fear to commit crime. Another, Rafael Garofalo, also one of the proponents of activist school. He is an Italian jurist and a student of Cesare Lombroso. He rejected the doctrine of free will and supported the position that crime can be understood only if it is studied by scientific methods. Sabihin na para ma-understood yung crime, kailangan ng application ng scientific methods, in yung claim Rafael Garofalo. And also, he attempted to formulate the sociological definition of crime that would designate those acts which can be repressed by punishment. Yun yung pinormulate na meaning ng crime ni Rafael Garofalo. Sabi niya, crime are those acts which can be repressed by punishment. Ibig sabihin yung krimen daw ay mapipigilan lamang, or yung mga actions, krimen ay yung mga actions na pwedeng pigilan sa pamamagitan ng parusa. Ginawa ni Rafael Garofalo. And also, this constituted natural crime and were considered offenses violating the 2 basic altruistic sentiments. Ito yung probity and pity. Kapag sinabing probity, it is the quality of having a strong moral principles. At yung pity naman, ito yung sorrow, feeling of sorrow. Kumbaga yung awa, yung pity. So these 2 are the basic altruistic sentiments na mayroon daw lahat ng tao according to Rafael Garofalo. Another was Enrico Ferri. He's also a student of Cesare Lombroso, and Ferri believed that social as well as the biological factors played a role, and held the view that criminals should not be held responsible for the factors causing their criminality were beyond their control. Ibig sabihin, ang sabi ni Enrico Ferri, yung mga individuals daw na nakakomit ng crime na nag-provoke lang sa kanila because they are committing crime outside of their control, hindi dapat liable sa mga punishment. Ibig sabihin na nakakommit ng crime ang ibang tao because of some factors na hindi niya kontrolado or mga factors na nag-provoke sa kanya, kaya siya nakakommit ng crime even though labag ito sa kanyang kalooban. And also, he argued that the criminal behavior could be explained by studying the interaction of a range of factors he observed. Number one, the physical factors in relation to crime, such as the race, geography, and temperature. So under the physical factors by Enrico Ferri, yung daw race or lahi, geography, yung uri ng lugar at temperatura ay nakaka-apekto kung bakit ng tao ay nakaka-commit or nakakagawa ng krimen. Then second, the individual factors in relation to crimes such as age, sex, and psychological variables. Kapag sinabi individual factors, ito na yung physical factors ng isang offender, age, yung edad, yung kasarian, at yung kanyang pag-iisip, yung daw ay nakaka-apekto din sa kung bakit ang isang individual ay nakakagawa ng krimen. And then third, the social factors. Kapag sinabing social factors, those factors outside the individual or environmental factors such as population, religion, and culture. So dito sa population, sabi ni Perry, maaari kapag marami yung population, kumbaga overpopulated na ang isang lugar, maaaring dahilan yun kung bakit na ang tao ay makakamit ng crime. And also religion and culture, ano yung kultura nila. So these are the factors concluded by Enrico Ferri why an individual commits crime. Physical factors, individual factors, and social factors. And then types of criminal by Rafael Garofalo. Number one, murderer. Kapag sinabing murderer, refers to a criminal who kills another person and is satisfied from vengeance or revenge. Kumbaga yung murderer, ito yung mga mahilig mag-revenge or maghiganti, yung murderer. This type of criminal totally lacks both pity and probity. Ibig sabihin, wala silang awa at wala silang moral principles. They don't observe moral principles and they kill whenever opportunity arises in yung murderer. And then second, the violent criminal. This criminal lacks pity. Ibig sabihin, wala silang awa and can be influenced by environmental factors such as the consumption of alcohol or the fact that criminality is endemic to criminals' particular population. So, ibig sabihin dito sa violent criminal, yung isang uri ng criminal na ito ay wala siyang awa at siya ay napaprovoke ng mga environmental factors kaya na-commit siya ng crime. Third, the deficient criminal. It refers to a person who commits crime against property. Itong deficient criminal naman, yung mga examples ng crime na nagagawa niya ay pagnanakaw, crimes against property, yung nakomit ng deficient criminal. And then lascivious criminal refers to a person who commits crime against chastity. Sinabing crimes against chastity are those crimes including the acts of lasciviousness, seduction, adultery, concubinage, and the like. So these are the four types of criminal by Garofalo: murderer, violent criminal, deficient criminal, and lascivious criminal. So that's all. Thank you for watching and God bless.